I got this feeling.
Where am I at? In a new set.
It goes electric.
What's with the big screen? Is that where you're going to put pictures and stuff?
Off from my home.
Wow.
We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone.
13th floor. No, I'm not. I have told you. How can you not like Monday?
You're on my turf now.
How can anybody not like Mondays?
No.
You get to go back to work.
Don't even start.
You get to get up and get out and get the week started and be a part of something. How can you not just love Monday mornings? I don't understand it. That's right. Just imagine. Dance, 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 dance. Good Monday morning. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, I found my near and fars, my glasses, my near and fars, which I call it. I don't know. I like the set. I like the newsroom here. I like where I'm at, but we're not on the 13th floor. I've already told you that. We're not on the 13th floor, okay? This is Studio 7. We'll call it Studio 7, okay?
So we're on the 7th floor.
On the 7th floor. Studios, that's our lucky number, right? Okay, let's tell folks how they can get in touch with us. 706-889-9700. Let's get the week started out here. 706-889-9700. You can email us, chief@fetchernews.com. All right. And also you can follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. There, you can follow us there. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. While it continues to exist, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel while it continues to exist. FYNTV Fetcher News, and anytime we do a live broadcast, you will get a notification. You can also find us on Facebook until they deem us dangerous to the community. I will explain.
Right.
Deem us dangerous to the community, like Diamond and Silk. All right, and you can find us on Facebook also. Let's get started. Let me tell you what we got going on this morning and what we have happening this week. First of all, this morning at 8:30, we will have in the studio. We'll have an interview. We're continuing this week every single day. We will work out to have candidates on the show. They'll be in studio, on the telephone until election. Our focus, number one focus at FetcherNews.com and my show here, Good Morning from the Office, is to bring you the most information about candidates. So when you go to vote this week, we'll start into local candidates. We'll get that going this week. But we start this morning with Rick Day. Rick Day is a Democrat candidate for Georgia State House District 7. He will be with us this morning in studio. Tomorrow morning, we will have at 8:30 in the morning, we will have Josh McCoon. State Senator Josh McCoon is running for Secretary of State. He will be with us at 8:30 tomorrow morning. And tomorrow at 9 a.m., Georgia Lieutenant Governor, also candidate for governor, Casey Cagle, will be with us tomorrow at 9 a.m., one of our interviews. So where do we start? We're trying something. I'm trying something new. I set up some different Google Sheets that I may be able to go to faster once I get the hang of it, Amanda. It took me a little time to get this worked out, but I may be able to go to this faster if I learn how to use it and it won't freeze up. So took a little extra time. I wanted to do this last week, but I didn't try it. So I came in early and attempted to do something that in time may work a little faster. Now, border crossings. Let me just say this, okay? Let me get this out of the way so I can, if you feel this is a racist comment, I want it out of the way early in the morning. I don't think it is. But you continue to hear about the National Guard being sent to the border, but you do not hear the truth if you're watching the big three that own several other stations, okay, like MSNBC and ABC, CBS, CNN, the list goes on. What the National Guard can do that Trump is sending to the border, they can do is aerial surveillance, okay? They can assist in aerial surveillance, which is an enormous help. It's an enormous help to the Border Patrol there on our southern border. And they also could send construction. There's divisions of the National Guard that are in the construction area. And they specialize in construction. They can send them to start repairing border fence, any kind of barriers that need repaired, anything in the construction area that need repaired along the border. So it's an enormous, okay, you will hear the media will not come out and tell you truthfully how big of a benefit this is to the Border Patrol down there in helping. Also, you're going to hear border crossing is at a 46-year low, okay? And then you will hear, okay, that border crossings, let's see if I can get it here. I don't know. This is from CNN. Attempted border crossings surged in March, okay? They surged in March. This came out April 5th. And the number of migrants trying to illegally cross the U.S. Into U.S. from Mexico at the Mexican border spiked dramatically in March, according to numbers released Wednesday, as President Donald Trump announced he was sending National Guard troops to the southern border. Okay, so what they will not tell you, and did not make all the morning shows, I want to get this out of the way, did not make all the morning shows, they will not tell you that they ran with 4 straight days of border crossings are down 46%. Okay? And they want to always lead you to believe that President Donald Trump acts spontaneous and just gets up one morning and says, hey, let's just send the National Guard. They want you to believe that President Donald Trump gets up one day and says on Easter Sunday, looks and says, hey, look at the caravan coming across Mexico, all right? And he makes all these sporadic moves, all right? It doesn't think anything through. This is the way they want to always frame your president. It's not true, okay? We are in April. This article, actually, from CNN, came out April 5th, which was the 9th, 2018. You did not hear this on the Sunday shows. They did not talk about it. All they pushed, Joe and Minka, every morning was that border crossings are down 40 at a low, 47, 46-year low. Okay? The truth is, every March, there's a major spike. Trump knows this. There's a major spike in attempted crossing the border. Now, I say jokingly, if Trump stops everybody from crossing the border, who's going to pick the lettuce, okay? You can get angry if you want. You can get mad if you want. We have to figure some of these things out in the country. What we should have is an immigration plan in place to where seasonal workers could be coming to a border wall with a border office there, an office to come in, and people can fill out paperwork and say they want to work seasonally on the farms or whatever to harvest, the cantaloupe, the watermelon for 4th of July, the tomatoes and the peaches and the strawberries or whatever, okay? That's serious. I'm being very serious. But no, we can't get that solved. So Trump is sending down there at a time when illegal border crossings have spiked. It takes a few months to determine if the spike turns into a full-blown surge similar to migrant crisis that occurred in 2014. But the increase marked a turn for the administration, which a year ago was touting historical lows, all right? So they're up. The number of people either caught trying to cross the southern border or rejected from admission increased 37% from February into March. All right? They're up. We're stopping them from coming across illegally. The president is sending the National Guard. Now, let's move on from that because it's one of the things that they will not tell you the truth on. Okay? Let me try. I'm going to try something else. Now, all weekend, the 5 shows, CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, and even Fox, okay? Chinese tariffs, all right? Chinese tariffs. And the Chinese tariffs and the trade war, this is what you're hearing, Chinese tariffs, trade war. And what Trump has done to cause this, Trump's trade war, they keep bringing it up. President of the United States continues to try to tell you this war has been lost. It's not a trade war. We lost this war, okay? So what are the 2 major things that exported about every job we had in manufacturing out of this country? All right? China being welcomed into the World Trade Organization. Who did that? NAFTA. Who did that? Do you have that video? Let's play this video and see if the media, wait a minute, I watched all 4 of the shows, all 5 of the shows. Not one show went into the history and named what happened with the World Trade Organization and who let China in. Go ahead and roll that tape.
This agreement is a good deal for America. Our products will gain better access to China's market in every sector from agriculture to telecommunications to automobiles. But China gains no new market access to the United States, nothing beyond what it already has. In fact, we'll gain tough new safeguards against surges of imports and maintain the strongest possible rules against dumping products that have hurt Americans in the past. We continue to have serious disagreements with China on human rights, on proliferation, and other issues. We'll continue to press our views and protect our interests. This deal will not change China or our relationship with China overnight. Bringing China into the WTO is a win-win decision. It will protect our prosperity, and it will promote the right kind of change in China. It is good for our farmers, for our manufacturers, and for our investors. Encouraging China to play by international rules, I say again, is an important step toward a safer, saner world.
And when do you expect the 2 sides to get back together again?
Oh, I think they'll be back here pretty soon. We're just trying to work out the precise.
Folks, it's a win-win. How many times did we hear Bill Clinton tell you, the American people, it is a win-win? China being welcomed into the World Trade Organization, it's a win-win, Bill Clinton told you. NAFTA, which, let's be honest, was George H. Bush, okay? George H. Bush had laying on the desk for Clinton when he got there, but it was a win-win for the American people. Clinton ushered NAFTA right in. Who else said that the nuclear disarmament deal with North Korea was a win-win for the American people? Would that have been Bill Clinton? North Korea, a win-win. China, World Trade Organization, a win-win. Okay? A win-win. NAFTA, a win-win. Disaster after disaster after disaster laid on the President of the United States' desk, Donald J. Trump. Not one of the shows yesterday Did they bring that up? Okay. ABC News here. Let's see. I'm just going to go over a couple things that the media is not talking about. Clinton signs China trade bill into law. Okay. October 10th. President Clinton today signed into law a historic bill granting permanent normal trade relations to China. He also dispatched his top trade negotiator for urgent talks, okay, in hope of settling disputes that threaten Beijing's World Trade Order bid. Approved by the U.S. Senate in September and the House of Representatives. Now, the U.S. Senate, the deep state, and the House of Representatives, you don't know, you figure out why they don't like Donald Trump. Approved by the U.S. Senate in September and the House of Representatives in May over stiff opposition from labor and human rights group, the legislation ends the 20-year-old annual ritual of reviewing China's trade status and guarantees Chinese goods the same low tariff access to U.S. market as products from nearly every other nation. Now, let me just say this. You keep hearing about intellectual properties. Now, once this deal was signed, all right, let me see what else I have here. There was another one I had up here. Hold on just a second. This is supposed to help me move along a little faster, hopefully. Okay. Waking the sleeping dragon, okay? Why does Donald Trump hammer Hillary Clinton on trade? In part because of Bill Clinton's last great legislative victory. On May 24th, 2000, Bill Clinton clinched what many believe would be the last great legislative victory of his presidency. That afternoon, the House of Representatives voted to award China permanent normal trade relations, effectively backing Beijing's long in the making bid to join the World Trade Organization. Now, we know about manipulating their currency. We understand that they manipulate it. You keep hearing, let me follow up on the theft of intellectual property. After this happened, okay, we had an enormous amount of companies that wanted to do business in China. Banks from all over the world. Now, let's not forget the Chinese country, China is a communist country, okay? The People's Liberation Army of China. I don't know who they are, but they're a communist country. Let's be clear on that. Okay, very clear. China is a communist country, all right? Second, okay, intellectual properties. Anybody that wants to go to China has to partner with the Chinese government. So if you want to open a McDonald's, all right, for some of you out there, you have to have a Chinese partner. A Chinese government partner in your organization. So I hate to say it, you know, they know the secret sauce, okay? They know the 11 herbs and spices in KFC that you and I don't even know. And that's my joke of the day. If banks want to open in China, they have to have a Chinese government partner, okay? Now, what happens if you have a corporation that you want to open in China? You have a corporation you want to open in China, okay? You have to have a Chinese partner. Now, what they do, the government puts in their partner for you in that business in China. Then that partner extracts all the intellectual properties out of your corporation. You can't say anything. They remove and they find out all of your secrets, everything about your company. They remove it and they push it over into a Chinese company which mirrors, mimics, and replicates your products. Done deal. They do it all the time, okay? One more thing. We got 8:20. There's a couple other things I want to go over before we start this, before we get to break and we get our first guest in here this morning. FBI director, okay? I'm so tired of hearing FBI director calls out, and this was on, this is not way back. This is Chris Wray, the FBI director. He calls out, he says, FBI Director Chris Wray said, there's no country that's even close to China when it comes to foreign espionage. No country even close. Wray said he believes the U.S. significantly underestimates the threat of China's economic espionage. Economic espionage, folks. You're going to have to go with Donald Trump on this one because he's not just starting a trade war. We have the FBI telling you that China's economic, there's not even anything close to the economic espionage. Stealing everything we have. Thank you, Bill Clinton. Maybe we'll go into how Bill Clinton let the Chinese in and gave them the green light to everything. Wray said he believes the U.S. significantly underestimates the economic espionage. China violated intellectual property rules more than any other country. Its activity is particularly responsible for a $600 million in U.S. economy, according to the report. Now, I don't have time to go totally into that, but not one show in the mornings is talking about anything Clinton did, okay? Real simple. NAFTA was signed. Trade, folks. Trade. Where did your jobs go? All right? Bill Clinton remarks on the signing of NAFTA Implementation Act, December 8, 1983. Bill Clinton remarks on the signing of the North American Free Trade Agreement Implementation Act, December 8, 1993. It was on Bill Clinton's desk. Bill Clinton signed it, put it in effect. But don't forget, George H. Bush put it on his desk. Okay? Now, China into the World Trade Organization. Okay? China became a member of the World Trade Organization on the 11th day of December 2001. Okay? Period. Bill Clinton was in the Oval Office. We have North Korea to deal with, NAFTA to deal with, China, and our trade imbalance and the theft of our intellectual property. It's all been laid on Donald Trump's desk. Now, Syria, we're looking at a gas attack, all right? I just want to say to you, Mr. President, I know Barack Obama let them cross the line in the sand. I understand that was laid on the desk. But Mr. President, I'm going to have to say we're serious concerned. It's now your line in the sand. All right, so that's one thing. Let me see what else I want to cover here quickly. Zuckerberg's going to Capitol Hill tomorrow to explain to people how. Mark Zuckerberg's going to Capitol Hill tomorrow to explain to people how his organization, 87 million. Now, what would you do today if Facebook sends you a notification that you're one of 87 million that were not hacked, your data was sold? Guess what, folks? You are data, no matter who you are today. I can understand there's very small fraction that made it completely off the grid. But that being said, pretty much everybody in this country is data, all right? Couple things we're going to go over. You don't want to leave the show. We're going to be right here till 10, okay? put up a picture of Diamond and Silk. Diamond and Silk. I don't know if you know Diamond and Silk, but they have been deemed, I can't see, is that the one with Trump in it too? Yeah, but no. Now put up the one with President Trump. Diamond and Silk, they're just a funny duo. These two ladies, they have a YouTube channel and they have a Facebook page. Facebook has categorized them dangerous to the community. Dangerous to the community. That's what I say, okay? Now, let me move on from that. Let's go to, give me the picture. Let's go in the Wayback Machine. Remember when George Stephanopoulos was just a young lefty? Put George, I got a picture called George in the Oval Office. And he's there, George in the Oval Office, if you can put that up. This is George Stephanopoulos before he goes to ABC, all right? And he's there with who else? Al Gore, Bill Clinton, and Leon Panetta. Now let's show another one just to remind you, okay? Put up Stephanopoulos and James Carville. Here's George Stephanopoulos with James Carville strategizing the political campaign there for Bill Clinton. Let's just put up the one that says Stephanopoulos, okay? This is when he's just a young little leftist there in the White House press room. Right there he is, little young leftist Stephanopoulos. He is a political advisor for Bill Clinton. And now he's going to interview Comey, James Comey, former FBI director. Put up Comey Stephanopoulos. He's going to interview former FBI director James Comey, all right, this coming Sunday night. Comey's on his book deal. This would be the FBI director that President Donald Trump fired. He's on his book tour, has a book tour. Put up Comey's interview there. I think I call it Comey's interview. It's out there all over the internet. Coming April 15th to ABC. Now, do you think it's interesting, and we'll end by this, that tonight, where's a picture of Lester Holt? Did I send you a picture of Lester Holt? Tonight, Lester Holt there on NBC, Lester Holt, Nightly News, NBC. Tonight, he will interview Loretta Lynch. Put up the picture of Lynch and Clinton. And Loretta Lynch is going to talk about Loretta Lynch is going to talk about and open up to Lester Holt about she's going to open up to Lester Holt about the day that her and Bill Clinton bumped into each other on the airport tarmac out there in Phoenix, Arizona, and just started talking about their grandkids. So let me just frame this up. Today, Lester Holt from NBC, you know how I feel about NBC, will interview Loretta Lynch. Do you not see this? Is it a coincidence that they're laying this out in front of James Comey going on his book tour, former FBI director, disgrace, going on his book tour and going to be interviewed by Stephanopoulos and everybody else to the left? Do you not realize how they're setting this up? Just saying. Now, Scott Pruitt. Every show wanted rid of Scott Pruitt, and I've gone through that. We're going to talk about that around 9 o'clock. Do not leave. We have 2 hours. We're going to talk about Scott Pruitt. We're going to talk about more about Stephanopoulos. We're going to talk about, how about this guy, Senator John Kennedy? Put Senator John Kennedy up. He is the Louisiana senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, okay? He was on one of the morning shows, and he said that guy could talk a dog off a meat wagon. You gotta love that. Talk a dog off the meat wagon. And by the way, the show, the movie that's out, Chappaquiddick, let's put up Mary Jo Kopechne. In my opinion, Mary Jo Kopechne was murdered by Ted Kennedy. That's my opinion. And we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to have with us Rick Day will be with us. He is the Democrat candidate for the Georgia House seat, District 7. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back with our first guest of the day. Take us to break, Amanda.
Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers, and North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas, just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Hey, we're back, and I'm joined. You have a new set, another new set, Amanda. You caught me off guard there. Another new set there, Amanda. Thank you very much. We're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're joined now with Rick Day. He is the Democrat candidate for the Georgia House District 7. Mr. Day, how are you?
Yeah, that's great. And please call me Rick.
Okay. Rick, you're running for, I always like to open up with this, you're running for House District, Georgia House District 7 on a Democrat ticket. Why are you running for office?
Well, after sitting on the sidelines for most of my adult life, complaining, learning, watching government in action, watching the corporate creep that has slowly taken over our nation's governance, it came to a point to where I felt like I had to be a part of the solution. And you can sit on the sidelines and gripe all day long, but at some point, if you were really dedicated to your country, you're going to step and take up that next step. And so that's what I did. What actually motivated me to run against the incumbent speaker is he made a statement in the paper about the excuses why cannabis is not yet legal, or we don't have a medical cannabis program or robust program like all the other states. What the incumbent basically did is he did this. He pointed up. He says, well, the feds, until the feds schedule everything, totally ignoring the 10th Amendment, totally ignoring the almost majority of other states who have either decriminalization or full medical, or heaven forbid, even full recreational for adult consumption. And then I realized that man had been in office unopposed for 10 years, had run in this office for 27 years, and the government that we have here in Georgia is his government, is his vision. And so many people's lives have been ruined over casual cannabis consumption, and I put that on the GOP leadership. Not just the state leadership, the federal leadership. They are dragging their feet on the eventual end of prohibition of cannabis. So that was my main reason for running. I had some sub-reasons, but finally it just came to the point that after 40 years of being an advocate for the legalization of cannabis, I realized that nothing was going to happen until one of those jokers got knocked off by somebody who has never run before on that issue. And that's why I am running for this office. It is past time for this state to be in a position where cannabis prohibition is over. And that's why I'm running. And if that incumbent is dragging his feet, he is the log in the log jam, and I want to knock him out of that. And if I can't do anything at all for this state, I'm going to knock that man out of office. And that's why I'm running for this office.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's back up a little bit. Let's get people to know a little more about Rick Day. Rick,
okay.
You did, and I think it's important, you did qualify to run at one time in Gilmer County on the Republican ballot against a sitting commissioner here. You were wanting to run for commissioner, and you didn't follow through with that. My words, why didn't you follow through when you attempted to run for commissioner here in Gilmer County?
That's an excellent question, Chief, and I'm glad you brought it up. At the time of 2016, there was no Democrat entity in Gilmer County at all. The Democratic Party was basically non-existent. There was no device that allowed me to qualify and get on the ballot as a Democrat in Gilmer County. When you have a duopoly that controls who gets on the ballot, you have to make a choice. Okay, so I made the choice. I wanted to become a county commissioner and talk about these issues, about cannabis reform and progress, and bringing the county forward instead of having to drag it back. Then, so I went down and I qualified, and I believe the day after I qualified, I went to the county commission meeting and introduced myself. And the first thing I said, I looked him in the eye, I said, "I am a rhino. I'm a Republican in name only. I am running because this is the only device and this is what I believe in. What I am is I am a political independent. Just like a lot of people, I left the Democratic Party in the late 90s because of the Clintons. They are no friends of mine. They are no fans of mine. And I despise them as much as any conservative does today because of what they've done to our party."
So you left because of the Clintons?
I left because of the Clintons.
Okay, well then wait a minute. Let me get back to the original
okay,
question.
so yes, so the original
and I want to come back to you left because of the Clintons, because you are running on the Democrat ticket, so we want to explore that a little bit if you've got time.
Sure.
So let's go with why you did not follow through in running for that office.
Right. So a couple of days after I qualified to run, I got a letter from the 9th District Chair, 9th Congressional District that we're in here, and said that I had qualified to be a delegate at the Democratic National Convention. The way that the delegates work there very quickly is they pick one man, one woman. And the way the vote was allocated for Bernie got 2 delegates in the district, and Hillary got 8. So they had to have one man, one woman. I was the only man that qualified, so I kind of got in there by default. So I had a dilemma. I had to choose, run for county commission or as a Republican, which I really wasn't, or go find out why the Democrats are broken, why they're not talking to working class white people. Why have we been excluded from that party? So that we kind
Let me stay focused. I don't want to lose this.
Yes.
But you're talking about why they shifted away from working class white people. That's what you said.
That's correct.
Continue on.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why I decided not to run for the Republican office. It was just going to be too weird. I mean, it was like, well, what are you? Are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? Well, today, I think everybody asks themselves that. Am I a Democrat or am I a Republican? Well, labels have been laid out, and people have either been forced into a camp or they willingly walk in. But I have always kept my options open. I admire a lot of the things that conservative people believe in. But I also believe a lot of the things that the liberal people believe in because it was the way I was raised. I was raised 50 years ago. I was 12 when Martin Luther King was killed, and that has an impact on young people in our age. And I began to have a lot more empathy. And that's kind of where I am today. I'm just a horribly empathetic person, and it's just so easy to just don't worry about everybody, just worry about yourself and stuff. And I'm just not wired like that. So I kind of drift toward the Democrats, who are a little bit more inclusive than the GOP should be. But the biggest problem I have with the GOP is they lie. They've been lying to voters for 20, 25 years on issues like abortion, on issues like guns, on issues like immigration. It's just fear. It's just, is the pounding thing that has driven the conservatives into this, like, circling their wagons. And I want to come in there and go, hey, look, there's another point of view here. I agree with you, but have you thought about it this way?
Okay, you put a whole lot out there. Okay, so let's break down a couple things you put out there.
Okay.
So you went to the Democrat National Convention.
Yes.
Okay, and you were a delegate for Bernie Sanders?
Yes.
Okay. Who did you vote for President of the United States?
That's a good question. I voted for Gary Johnson. The reason why I voted for Gary Johnson was because...
If I'm correct, Gary Johnson was a Libertarian?
He was a Libertarian,
okay.
Yes. I was also a delegate at the 2004 Libertarian National Convention.
So you went to the convention, you were a delegate for Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
And then you went on to vote for Gary Johnson.
Yes.
So you did not vote for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton.
That is correct.
Because the Clintons are what pushed you away from the Democrat Party.
Yes. Well, what they represented was the neoliberal policies that have been getting us in trouble for so many years. They also represent what we call the donor class, and that's the rich, white, elite liberals who want to keep the status quo. These are the neoliberals who meet the conservatives on things like war and entitlement programs and things like that. These are people who don't care about working class whites, working class blacks, or working class browns. They don't care about us unless we are providing our labor to enrich them.
All right, let me ask you just a couple more things, and I'd like to have you back basically just to discuss some of your philosophy on moving away from the Democrat Party. You obviously moved back to it. Okay, you're running as a Democrat in a very conservative district, and let me say this, and then I give you the floor. You did not run for Gilmer County Commissioner because of the opportunity to be a delegate to the convention, but you did qualify as a Republican. And you said, your words, that you went and immediately said, I'm a rhino, I'm Republican in name only, but you knew that was the vehicle to get the job.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So if you knew then that was the vehicle to get the job, why are you not attempting to run there's a primary challenger already on the Republican side. Why didn't you not go and run on the Republican side again? Because that is, right now in this district, the best vehicle out there, might I say. I don't know how I framed that, but you understand where I'm going?
I understand.
Can you answer why you're running as a Democrat?
Because of my grandchildren. I have grandchildren, and I'm concerned about their future.
But why not a Republican?
Because the Republicans are not concerned about the future of our children. They're only concerned about the immediacy of getting a vote right now. And they're going to tell voters anything they have to. They will promise them anything that they can to get a vote. And it's a lie. We know it's a lie. You know it's a lie. You know it's a lie. I know it's a lie. I'm not going with the party of liars. I'm not going to be a part of the bamboozle.
I'm with you. Now,
okay. That's why.
But let me know if you don't feel I'm giving you the opportunity to explain yourself. But with the party of liars, the party of liars. But if we sit here and again, I'd like to get you back and maybe debate. And this is an interview,
sure.
So I don't want to turn it into a debate. But when you say party of liars, I mean, isn't the other side as guilty as being party of liars?
Part of them are, yes.
Part of them?
Yes. There's definitely a split in the Democratic Party, just like there is in the GOP. You've got the establishment GOP, and you've got the Tea Party. And then you've got the whole corporate thing on top of that. It's the same way the Democrats. You've got the establishment Dems, and you've got the younger people that are getting involved, the people who are turned on by Bernie Sanders' message about a hopeful future. Bernie's message paralleled Donald Trump's message, talking about working class whites. Bernie was the only person on the left that was talking the same type of populist rhetoric that Donald Trump was. And that's why I like him. No, I don't like everything about Bernie Sanders. Yeah, he's kind of a wild guy and stuff, but he's focused on future generations. He's focusing on what can we do to help our children rise up out of this. And the GOP, I'm not hearing that. I'm seeing decades of cutting public school funds, and then, here's an election year, let's raise it up. It's just It's a very complex issue, but yes, I am a dino. Just like I'm a rhino, I'm a political independent, okay? And I'm just using this office as a vehicle to challenge the status quo that is controlling the state. And that's why I'm running as a Democrat.
Okay, let's change direction. You give us a pretty good, a pretty deep look into how you see things in general. Okay, let's narrow it down to the 7th district. Okay, the voters, the actual people going to make the decision in November because you're on the Democrat ballot, and you will be right there till November.
Yes.
Okay, so there's Gilmer County, Fannin County, and a portion of Dawson County. Trump won these counties, especially the two here, Gilmer and Fannin, 70 plus, in the high 70s, and there's been elections where, you know, at least 70+% go Republican.
Mm-hmm.
How do you plan to compete against that? What kind of message do you have? Let's stay focused in the 7th district, because one, you're here today saying that David Ralston should, one, not be Speaker of the House, and two, should not be their representative, correct?
That is correct.
That's what you're saying. So what kind of message are you going to give the 7th district, the people here, to convince them to vote for you and not their Speaker of the House?
That's another excellent question, Chief, and I'm still formulating that. Okay, how do you reach out to people? Well, first of all, you find a common ground. Okay, and there's some common ground on the Second Amendment. There's definitely an extremely high percentage of the voters here are tired of cannabis prohibition. You would be amazed at the people who have approached me, who are very open about their cannabis consumption up here. It's a very popular issue. It's in this high 70% with conservatives. David Ralston represents the failed war on drug policy that the GOP on the state, local, and national level has embraced for decades because it milks folks. Tough on crime, tough on crime, tough on crime. And what it is it's tough on poor citizens. And so I think that putting right out front that we should be talking beyond relegalization. We should be talking about how we're going to set up the distribution system, agriculture opportunities up here in the 7th District for growing agricultural hemp and medical cannabis and recreational cannabis. Are we going to allow small stores to open up like we've allowed liquor stores to open up? Are we going to have a regulatory model? Are the big corporations going to come in and take over like they have the other states? Or are the people going to have a representative in there that's going to fight for small business, okay, and make sure that the small business and minority people have a fair shake in this multi-billion-dollar industry that's coming up? How would you like to have your property tax totally eliminated? Wouldn't that be cool? Cannabis tax would cover that.
All right. Well, all right. Let's.
That's one thing. The other.
Go ahead.
So the other thing is, look at this county. Look at these two counties. 80% of the jobs in this district is retail. That is extremely precarious when you're talking about percentages of recessions and inflation and things like that. We don't have a core industry here. We don't have an identity other than we're a place where the Appalachian Trail starts. Why? Why is a man who knows all the lobbyists by their first name giving big stadiums to Atlanta, Cobb County, getting businesses to Columbus and Savannah, and we get crumbs? We have nothing. Why just one industry? He's one of the most powerful men in the state. Why can't he just bring us something that we can build on? We need an identity. Well, I mean, he was nice, and he gave $60,000 to the Playhouse there with some strings on it. Well, that's great. How about a $6 million investment in this? Can we bring in some manufacturing jobs so that it'll bring in more people and raise our tax base so that everybody raises up? The incumbent is not interested in enriching our district, or he would have done it a long time ago. If I was Speaker, this would be the best district in the state. And right now, we're just awful. Well, the only thing we excelled in is suicide rate. It's
okay,
just
all right,
awful.
all right. Oh, well, okay, all right. You put a lot out there, so let's start breaking down. What if I said, well, at the end of the day, the people out there are going to say, well, this Rick Day's a nice guy, but all I got out of it is he wants to legalize marijuana.
That's a lot. I think it's a lot.
Okay, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you say cannabis, and I understand that. The majority of the audience understands cannabis. But, Rick Day is running because he wants to legalize marijuana. Okay, that's, all right, let's say that. Then second, let's say this area is the, fishing capital up in Fannin, trout, apple capital. Agro-tourism here is enormous. Wineries, it's become an outstanding place for people that have opened wineries just left and right in numerous amount. Craft beer legislation has been passed to help small brewers. There's been several things. There's a new college, North Georgia, University of North Georgia is going to have a Blue Ridge campus where kids can have dual enrollment and offer more core classes right here at home. I mean, what if, I said these are all, and I'm not saying they're positives, I'm just saying these are the things that are out there, and what say you to some of these things? Are they not accomplishments for the district?
They're not enough. We need more. The vineyard winery model is the perfect parallel for a person to envision what business is going to be like here with cannabis. It's going to be the same kind of small grow and these little exclusive brands and these bottles and these kind of things. That's the same kind of thing that we're going to have here. So we're going to take that vineyard model and we're going to multiply it so that any mom and pop can grow in their backyard and have a little thing and have a flea market or a farmer's market and make money off of it. The thing, there's money to be made here. There's tax money, there's infrastructure money, there's revenue that comes in from this, and we're missing out on it. We're missing out on $1 billion a year for each year that the GOP incumbency is forcing or not allowing this to happen. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to legalize cannabis. What I promise is if you'll elect me, David Ralston will no longer be in a position to prohibit that. Okay? Listen, people just want to have the truth told to them. They don't want to have smoke blown up their skirt. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what I can get done up there. Probably not a lot. Probably very little. But I'm not that man. And I'll do what I can to help this district, unlike the current incumbent, who just doesn't seem to care except when it's election time. Then he seems to care.
All right, let me ask you some pointed questions so we don't run out of time. And like I said, we've got till November. You're on the ballot, and we'll have an opportunity to have you back. So let me ask you some pointed questions.
Sure.
You emphasized a long list of Republican lies. You said they've told so many lies. Let me back up and just ask you so that people can get to know Rick Day. So, Second Amendment, where do you stand on Second Amendment?
I am very pro Second Amendment, but I do not agree with the NRA's definition of the Second Amendment. Now, I own guns. I own sidearms. I have a carry concealed permit. I am pro-gun. However, I had noticed a trend over the last several years where mentally ill people have gotten access to weapons and have used them. Okay? The question is gun abuse. It's not guns itself. However, I can see how a weapon that was originally designed for military use, and military only uses guns and rifles to kill people, not to hunt, not to target practice, but to kill. If it was originally designed, it needs to be addressed. Now, how do you address it? You can't confiscate weapons. I would never advocate the confiscation of any weapons, and I'll stand up and I will fight for your right to own any weapon that is not a weapon of military origin. Okay? So if you already have a semi-automatic, it's yours. You keep it and do whatever you want to. You can't sell it. You can turn it in, but it's yours. It's yours to keep. I would look at legislation that would would limit the sale of future semi-autos to new owners. I'm also a big fan of looking at liability insurance for gun owners. I think that that's a reasonable compromise for this issue. The young people that are getting involved, the Parkland people, this David Hogg guy, I see there's a lot of angst and consternation and a lot of memes coming from my conservative and libertarian friends about this. And all I can do is say, your fears are overblown. Nobody's going to take your guns. And if you elect me, I will make sure nobody takes your guns. I will be that voice in the Democratic Party that is lacking right now. Rural white people are lacking in the Democratic Party in the state, and I want to be that voice and say, hey, wait a minute, you've got a constituency here, and this is the way they feel about that issue.
All right, I got to stay with pointed questions because my next guest is here, and I got to move along. We can get you back in here. Pro-life, pro-choice?
That's a great question, and that's another part of the GOP bamboozle.
The only reason I ask these questions is the district you're in.
Yes, the district I'm in.
I know the voters you're talking to this morning.
Okay. Right now, the fact is that in this district, it is almost impossible to get an abortion. And there's not a lot of people seeking abortions right now. The reason why is because young people are keeping those children. They're keeping those children because they're drug addicts and they get a check from the government. So they're literally using those children that they would normally have terminated the pregnancy, and they're using that and as a taxpayer burden on all of us. Okay, the fact is that the GOP will never outlaw abortion. They need your vote too bad, and the people who, if you give them that abortion and abortion goes away, the GOP voter base will go away. You ask most evangelicals, and their main issue is abortion. And if that issue is solved, then the GOP will disintegrate. They're bamboozling you. They'll never, ever, ever outlaw abortion.
So you think they need to yell pro-life, and if it does get solved, as I would say, solved or ended, they wouldn't have an issue to yell about to bring the voter back home or to excite the voter. What say you on the same parallel that President of the United States says, well, that's why Democrats don't want to solve DACA. Yes. And I don't want to go there right now. Let's stay focused in the 7th District. Pro-life, pro-choice.
Okay.
I understand.
I am pro-reproductive right. Okay. That's a very important distinction. Okay. I do not favor abortion. I would counsel a person against abortion, but I would never get in between a woman and a doctor or a man and a doctor and try to tell them what to do and what not to do. If you want abortions to eliminate, you give women access to reproductive right, to reproductive. Give her education of reproductive rights, how to keep from getting pregnant, and give her access to birth control. There won't be abortions. Okay, but this is not about abortion, and you know it. It's about the sin of sex by single women. That's what it's about. That's when you boil it down, you boil it all down. A lot of evangelicals will tell you to your face, this is really about punishing women who have sex outside of the marriage.
Okay, I gotta frame a couple more things. Are you working with the leadership in the Fannin County Democrat Party, Gilmer County Democrat Party, and Dawson? Are you working within the leadership? Have you already met with them, the party leadership in these counties, and have their support? And is there a game plan to run in this election?
Well, to further add to the confusion of if I'm a Democrat or not, I've been on the newly formed Gilmer County Democrat Executive Committee for the last year and a half, trying to help move them away from the establishment Democrats and more into a little bit more progressive wing. The short answer is yes. I've talked with them. I haven't met with Fannin County yet. I'm scheduled to meet and talk at a Democratic Women's Expo in McKaysville in a couple of weeks. And we don't have a game. I have a game plan, but this is going to be an unusual campaign. I'm not going to campaign like typical politicians are. First of all, I think yard signs are ugly. They are eye pollution. And I pledge right now I will never lay a yard sign out in public. And I challenge all of the other candidates at all the other offices, Democrat or Republican, to accept that challenge and pull those yard signs up. There's no reason for that.
So you don't know that if you have the support of the Fannin County Democrats and Gilmer, and you haven't pulled that support together yet? Are you working on that? Or?
Yes, I'm working on that. To be honest, I am just kind of counting on the Democrats to fall in line behind me. What I'm going after are the political independents.
Okay, one more question. Got to wrap it up. What if, and here's what maybe viewers are thinking, okay, what if, because if the Speaker of the House currently was not reelected, if he would not be reelected, and not only you being elected would end this district of having the Speaker of the House, but it would also end this district of having a Republican, and this district would have a Democrat representative that's in the minority in Atlanta. I mean, how do you convince this district? Is that something you're going to have to think about long and hard, of how to convince this district that being in the minority in Atlanta will be okay for now or whatever as a Democrat, because Democrats are in the minority?
Again, Chief, all excellent points. And first of all, what has Rosslyn done for us? Okay, that he could do, and he hasn't. Okay, so I can't do any worse. I can't do any worse. All right. The second thing is, it's just a matter of time before Georgia turns blue. And so the Democrats are not going to be in the minority, and working class whites, especially rural working class whites, are going to need a voice in that party. I need to go down there and tell those little folks of color and those little women,
so you're
little gays and stuff.
You got to get down there and get ready, because you anticipate the state will turn blue.
Yes, and I want to represent those conservative values as well as liberal values too. Politics are complicated, and everything is all topsy-turvy now. What is a liberal? What is a conservative? What is an independent? Well, Rick Day says it's time that we break the logjam, and the GOP has had so many years to fix our problems, and things are just getting worse.
Close it up in 30 seconds, whatever you want to close with, because you will.
First of all, I want to thank you and your wonderful staff for having me here today. I am humbled that you would take the time to come out and have me have exposure to all of these wonderful voters. To all you voters out there, hello. You'll see me on the street. I sell tie-dye. I'm the tie-dye guy. I'm a small business entrepreneur, and I've done a lot of different things, and I understand your problems. I understand. I don't maybe not understand all of the solutions, but I do understand the problems. And my email is open. rickdday@gmail.com. I'm not hiding behind a campaign, anything like that. And I promise you, when I'm elected, you can contact me. You can reach out to me personally. You can't do that right now with any of your representatives. They don't care about you. They don't care about you anymore. Elect me. I care.
Thank you, Mr. Day. I appreciate it. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And we continue our series of bringing all the candidates, as many as we can, via phone or in the studio. And today we've had Rick Day. He's on the Democrat ballot for Georgia State House, District 7. Thank you again, Mr. Day. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
Hey, we're back, folks, and I'm here with the Gilmer County Park and Rec Director, Kevin Way, and we're on the baseball field. And I think you and I know enough about each other, Kevin, that's behind us is where we like to be, don't we?
Oh, yeah. It's a great place to be.
It's a great place to be, isn't it?
Yes, it is, especially this time of year.
This time of year, it is spring, and that means today is opening day for Gilmer Park and Rec. All the boys and girls out there, today's opening day for the season?
Yes, everything's taking place out at Clear Creek Park. We get everything going probably around 6 o'clock.
About 6 o'clock tonight?
Weather permitting, if the rain holds up.
Now, you have an opening day parade every year for the boys and girls that are in the baseball and softball program, and when does that take place?
It takes place this Saturday, weather permitting. It starts at the elementary school, and then it goes through town and ends up at the park.
So we're gonna go at the elementary school, go around the square here in downtown Ellijay, down South Main Street, all the way to the park.
Correct.
Down to the park. Okay. Any activities at the park for opening day down there?
Yeah, we've got hot dogs and chips that's been given out by ETC.
So we're going to have hot dogs, chips, parade this Saturday, and today is opening day.
Correct.
Now this is the boys and girls and baseball and softball.
Yes.
And how often do the kids play?
They usually get 2 to 3 games a week.
Now, where can you be followed at? I know Team FYN Sports. We always try to put up everything you guys got going on. But what are where is your Facebook? What's the name of your Facebook page?
Facebook's page Gilmer Recreation, and we got GilmerRecreation.com as our website that you can go to and get all the latest updates.
Well, I've been wanting to get you in here to ask you a question. Now, first of all, baseball. You know how I am about baseball, so I love the game. It's not going to be hard to get me out to watch the kids play baseball. But I want to change subjects just a minute. I've noticed a lot of activity down at City Park. What's going on down there?
We've done a lot of work on the old pavilion that's been there for close to 40 years. We've done a lot of work on the playground and fixing up the inside of it, and then the addition of our new playground, which is, when it's done, it should hold up to about 150 kids at one time.
How many kids? How many kids are signed up for baseball and softball this year?
We're over 300.
Over 300. That's very.
Yeah.
And how many people does it take to make that go off? There's a lot of work involved in that, is there not?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got a good staff. I mean, we put in a lot of hours, but sometimes I don't see how we do pull off the things we do.
Well, I want to look out there and I want to say I love each and every one of you coaches. Love each and every one of you team dads or moms, whatever it may be. All of the assistant coaches, but you can have that, sir. I won't give that to you, okay? Because I love each and every one of you, but to pull everything together and get everything for the coaches and make everything go, and umpires on the right field at the right time, and
it wouldn't take place without the volunteer coaches. I mean, that's the key to it all. I mean, it's those guys.
Well, I do want to say you guys have a great staff, and I've worked with your entire staff. Sam and I have worked with your entire staff through the basketball, and we look forward to working with you through many things that we plan to do with you on baseball. We have a couple things that we're going to do this season on FYNTV.com and Team FYN Sports. We look forward to working with your entire staff, but I do watch through the basketball and so forth. There's so much that goes into the parent volunteer and the coaches that have to get involved to be a part of it.
Yeah, there's a whole lot behind the scenes that nobody sees. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Well, I am doing this on camera, okay? I'm doing it on camera. I always like to do something that's out there a little bit. Don't get nervous, okay? I remember several years ago that I would get a phone call and it sounded something like this. This goes in the Wayback Machine. But I don't know if I'll be busy, so don't get mad, because you're the kind of person that likes to send me little pictures like, when are you going to show up here, all right? So I don't know if I'll be busy, but if I ever get a phone call that says, hey, we're missing an umpire on field 3, I might come down.
I think we're missing one tonight.
Oh, no.
Opening day.
No, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know the rules. You have to give me a rule book.
You can't take a rule book on the field league. That's not going to happen.
The rule book. So maybe throughout the season, maybe I call a game, and I just won't forget my glasses.
I'd love to have you out there. Just give Jody Cantrell a call, and he'll.
You think Jody would use me? Put me on the roster?
He'll put you on the field in a hurry. He'll put you on the field in a hurry.
So the other night I was in the booth, and we'll end with this. I was in the booth at a high school baseball game, and there was 3 of us. I do the announcing, and there's a guy that does all the walk-up music. Okay, guy that does all the walk-up music, and the guy that does the scoreboard and and the stats on what is that computer thing that everybody follows?
MaxPreps.
MaxPrep. Yeah, right. So we have 3 guys in the booth, and and we're right over the umpire, so we always seem to think we need to help him out. All right?
Mm-hmm.
We always need to help out the umpire, right? So the guy in the middle, I won't put no names, the umpire makes a call, and we're at the window, and he yells, "That was pitiful." All I know is Blue turned around and looked up at the booth and said, "That was it." All right? So I just warn you out there, okay? No heckling, no harassing. If in case at any time I come out and call a game, balls and strikes, I will throw you out.
Well, I mean, if you're on the field, we're going to post it on Facebook.
Kevin, we appreciate the entire staff down in Gilmer Park and Rec. I got to get down here and see all the work I just noticed on the social media. You have a lot of pictures of what's been going on with the park down there, and so hey. baseball, and then the next thing you know, you'll turn the lights off and start getting the paperwork to sign up for football, right?
Football's already, registration's already going.
Is it going now?
It's open. It's open online right now. I mean, they can go and register for cheerleading and football right now.
Registration for cheerleading and football open now, and games. And we'll be tweeting out all weekend, and we'll be in weekly results. We'll try to get with the Gilmore Park and Rec Team FYN Sports and get all the weekly results. Kevin, appreciate it very much. I don't think I want to leave because we're at the baseball park, but I'm going to have to get back to politics.
Better you than me.
Better me. Take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes! Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I've got to scratch my head a little bit, Amanda. I mean, it's Monday. And, you know, I started out, Amanda, with saying, how can you not like Monday? Which I love Monday, right? But how can you not like it? And, you know, I have to say, do you realize that's a first? That is a first here on FYNTV.com. I have never interviewed, I have had some debate with some Democrats, but I have never interviewed actually a Democrat candidate that's qualified that's going to be on the ballot. That's our first. Right there. Our first. Okay, let's go briefly here to the Twitter deck and see what the President of the United States has done here recently. And also let me let you know, 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700. That is our phone number there that you can text me during the show. And that's also our 24-hour hotline number. And then we also have Chief at FetcherNews.com and at Fetcher News, at FYNTV. That's our Twitter feeds there, and YouTube channel, FYNTV Fetcher News. So the Twitter deck here, let me go over a couple things that the President has put out here recently. The chemical attack in Syria, all right? I'm not going to dig too deep into the chemical attack in Syria toutside of saying that no, it did not happen because President Donald Trump said last week that he was considering pulling our troops out of Syria. That's not why it happened. So let's not get all worked up on that. He took on Putin, all right? For those that say he won't call Putin out, and he took on Russia and he took on Iran. Do you realize Assad, all right? And I won't say much more than this. Do you realize Assad, okay, excuse me, Assad, Iran, okay, ISIS, Russia / Putin. Do you realize, do you ever sit down and just relax and take a piece of paper and write down all of the things that happened under the Clintons, plural, okay, Hillary, State Department, Barack Obama's watch? On a daily basis, I tell Amanda, because she's here for 2 hours, anything negative about President Trump you want to talk about, please just look at the mess that was left on his desk. And not just a progressive mess. Let's go back to Woodrow Wilson, the father of the progressive movement, okay? Signed the Federal Reserve into law, right? Let's go back there. And it's all on Trump's desk, okay? Many dead, this was yesterday, many dead, including, this is President of the United States Twitter feed, many dead, including women and children, in mindless chemical attack in Syria. Area of atrocity is in lockdown and encircled by Syrian army, making it completely inaccessible to outside world. They can't get in. They've surrounded it. They don't want the outside world in. President Putin, Russia, and Iran are responsible for backing Animal Assad. Big price. Okay. Saudi Arabia is ready to side with Israel. Trust me. Okay. To clean the mess up in Syria and clean up Iran. Trust me. They do not. Saudi Arabia does not want to leave Iran the way it is. Okay. This is President Donald Trump. If President Obama had crossed his stated red line in the sand, okay, the Syrian disaster would have ended long ago. Animal Assad would have been history. To pay, a big price to pay, though this goes with the first one, open and immediately for medical help and verification, another humanitarian disaster for no reason. All right. So 12 hours ago, President of the United States congratulated Patrick Reed on his great and courageous Masters win when Patrick had his amazing win at the Doral 5 years ago. People saw his great talent and his bright future ahead. Now he is a Masters champion, so congratulations from the President of the United States. This is not the 3 hours ago when a car is sent to the United States from China. Ready? When a car is sent to the United States from China, there is a tariff to be paid of 2.5%. When a car is sent to China from the United States, there is a tariff to be paid of 25%. Does that sound like free and fair trade? No, it sounds like stupid trade going on for years. What cars arrive here from China? Now, in the break, I want you to do a search, okay, Amanda? And I want you to ask Google, who we know and love, if the Cadillac car is made in China and shipped to the United States. I want you to ask Google if there's any Cadillacs manufactured in China and shipped to the United States. And then I'd like to know, which I know that if the answer is yes, then that would be the same General Motors that you and I took our tax money and bailed out, that a plant was sent to China to send Cadillacs back, and they want you to believe that the United States, the American taxpayers, have been paid back by General Motors. Now, whenever you have any kind of note on that, just let me know. Interrupt me and let me know. Cars sent to the United States from China, 2.5%. We put on them. Our cars sent to China, 25%. And what did we do this morning? We laid it out for you. We laid it out and said, hey, Bill Clinton let China into the World Trade Organization. Now, I'm going to talk about Scott Pruitt before we leave today. But what I want to do is, there's times when, and I don't know if you have an opportunity to see this video, all right? But there's times that no matter what I say, okay, no matter what Rush Limbaugh says, no matter what any conservative out there says, nobody can do it as well as the American people. And this, did you get anything yet?
Okay, so I did get one article that I've just pulled up from the New York Post. About 32,000 of the vehicles which sell at the base price of $34,000 of GM have been sold to the U.S. since the company introduced the compact SUV to the market last summer.
And that's coming from China?
Yes.
So China is sending a General Motors car over here?
Yeah, it looks like specific SUV vehicles, but this is a 2017 article, so I need to dig a little bit further into this.
Dig a little further, but we do have General Motors cars being produced in China sent here, correct?
Yes, a good bit.
Yeah, a good bit. Hell, you say. How many of you are going to continue to attack this President of the United States? We have no choice. Now, Amanda, while we're looking up some things and we try to close today, this guy, Mark Robinson in Greensboro, North Carolina. Now, folks, Second Amendment. I asked the question about Second Amendment. And this has gone viral. This video has blown up and gone absolutely viral. All right? And this gentleman stands up at a Greensboro, North Carolina City Council meeting and addresses the City Council. Now, what I really like about this video is I lived outside of Greensboro for I don't know, maybe 3.5 years. 3 years, we'll say 3 years, I lived outside between Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and downtown Greensboro, and I spent a lot of time in Greensboro. And it's interesting, I know this area, and I just felt like I almost knew this guy when he came to the podium. And every day we're told about our Second Amendment, and somebody that has so much knowledge of the Constitution wants to break down what it means. And then only once in a lifetime can somebody come to the podium and articulate the Second Amendment and our right by our founding fathers like Mr. Robinson. If you have that, can we go to that?
Mr. Robinson?
Yes. I didn't have time to
You have to give us your name.
I'm sorry. My name is Mark Robinson. I live at 4015 Sassafras Court. That's right here in Greensboro. I've lived in Greensboro all my life. I didn't have time to write a fancy speech. I didn't have time to, I didn't have the resource of an English teacher to sit down and write a speech with at school today and be, brought over here or practice or anything. What I really came down here for is this. I've heard a whole lot of people in here talking tonight about this group and that group and domestic violence and blacks, these minorities and that minority. What I want to know is, when are you all going to start standing up for the majority? And here's who the majority is. I'm the majority. I'm a law-abiding citizen who's never shot anybody, never committed a serious crime, never committed a felony. I've never done anything like that. But it seems like every time we have one of these shootings, nobody wants to put the blame where it goes, which is at the shooter's feet. You want to put it at my feet. You want to turn around and restrict my right, constitutional right that's spelled out in black and white. You want to restrict my right to buy a firearm and protect myself from some of the very people you're talking about in here tonight. It's ridiculous. I don't think Rod Serling could come up with a better script. It does not make any sense. The law-abiding citizens of this community and many communities around this country, we're the first ones taxed and the last ones considered and the first ones punished when things like this happens, because our rights are the ones that are being taken away. That's the reason why I came down here today. Gun show or no gun show, NRA or no NRA. I'm here to stand up for the law-abiding citizens of this community, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You can take the guns away from us all you want to. You all write a law, I follow the law, I'll bring my guns down here, I'll turn them in. But here's what's going to happen. The Crips and the Bloods on the other side of town, they're not going to turn their guns in. They're going to hold on to them. And what's going to happen when you have to send the police down there to go take them? The police can barely enforce the law as it is. As what I see, we demonize the police, criminalize and vilify the police, and we make the criminals into victims. And we're talking about restricting guns? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when the police department's already hamstrung? You're not going to be able to go down here and take these guns from these criminals. So the criminals are going to hold on to their guns. They're still going to have them. They're still going to break in my house, and they're still going to shoot me with them. And guess who's going to be the one that suffers? It's going to be me. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight, it is not going to happen without a fight. And when I say fight, I don't mean shots fired. I don't mean fist thrown. I mean I'm going to come down here to this city council and raise hell just like these loonies from the left do until you listen to the majority of the people in this city. And I am the majority. The majority of the people in this city are law-abiding, and they follow the law, and they want their constitutional right to be able to bear arms. They want to be able to go to the gun show and buy a hunting rifle or a sport rifle. There are no military-grade weapons sold at the gun show. An AR-15 is not a military-grade weapon. Anybody that would go into combat with an AR-15 is a fool. It's a semi-automatic .22 rifle. You'd be killed in 15 minutes in combat with that thing. So we need to dispel all these myths, and we need to drop all this division that we got going on here. Because the bottom line is, when that Second Amendment was written, whether the framers liked it or not, they wrote it for everybody. And I am everybody. And the law-abiding citizens of this city are everybody. And we want our rights, and we want to keep our rights. And by God, we're going to keep them, come hell or high water.
Back to me. Hell or High Water. That's the new name of the show, Hell or High Water, right? Amanda, let's make the show now Hell or High Water. Mr. Robinson, I am going to tell you, there are times, Amanda, where you just don't say anything else. That somebody comes along and frames it up and puts it out there that you don't need to add anything to it. Because he's so correct, okay? I am everybody. Hell or high water. I am everybody. I love that. And I also like when he frames up that the police are not going to go down there and get the guns. Now, we go against the police is what he's saying, and he's not saying anything negative. He's not saying that the police and law enforcement will not try to confiscate the guns from the criminals, the Crips and the Bloods, but they're not going down there to match up with this firepower. They're not going to. They're not going to walk right into a gunfight. They're just not going to. And he's telling you the truth. He knows all too well. Because let me tell you something. The man at the podium, African American, all right, knows that if the police start into these areas, remember Baltimore, Freddie Gray, and they go after guns and they end up in a gunfight with 2 or 3 of these people, that there'll be enough media to bring satellite trucks in to do marches with Al Sharpton and jump up and down and burn to the ground police cars, and it's not worth the aggravation because they shot a thug with an illegal gun. That message won't get out. He's right. They won't go get these guns. They're not going to. They can't go get them. The media will not allow them to go get them, folks. Will not. I don't want to get stuck on this. But I like how he says we're the first to tax. We're the first that you tax. Okay? Law-abiding citizens, we're the first that you tax. The last you consider. We're the last ones you consider. First ones you tax. And we're the first ones that you take our rights away from. The people that you tax, that are paying the bills, are the last you consider and the first ones that you take the rights away. Amanda, I got one more story before the day's out, but do you have anything that you would like to bring to the table this morning? I didn't want to leave you out there.
I just have something really quick. I noticed on...
Wait a minute, where's my glasses? I lost my glasses somewhere.
I'm in the TV now.
Yeah, you're in the TV. What is it, Poltergeist? I mean, it's Poltergeist. Like, she's in the TV.
So I noticed that on the Women's March Twitter, I noticed this is the first tweet that I saw. The shutting down of Backpage. I don't know if you're familiar with Backpage.
With what?
Backpage.com.
No.
So Backpage is like a black market Craigslist, if you can get any more black market than that. Craigslist, I don't know if you remember all the busts years ago with prostitution and all that going down on Craigslist. Well, Craigslist just shut it down. There was no more of like a, you could like post jobs and adult, like you cannot do that anymore on Craigslist. Well, on Backpage, that was an outlet for these people to go and post on adult jobs. And
wait a minute. Where the hell's this story going? Post what kind of jobs?
Post adult jobs.
Adult jobs?
Yes, like adult. Like over, you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh my God, and you're in the TV telling all of our folks.
I'm in the TV, I know.
That they can post adult jobs, and they shut it down, right?
So the FBI came after Backpage because, and this was mostly in Atlanta, about 80% of this was going on in Atlanta. And they were sex trafficking children, like children under 17.
Right.
It was the majority of Backpage's victims. So Women's March set out a tweet because that has since been shut down by the FBI on Backpage. And the Backpage, I think the guy that started Backpage is actually facing prison time right now. The Women's March tweeted out, the shutting down of Backpage is an absolute crisis for sex workers who rely on the site to safely get in touch with clients.
Wait. So Backcage, am I saying this correctly?
Backpage.
Cage.
Page.
Page.
Yes.
I thought you go like, damn, Backcage, down to the back.
Batcave.
I didn't know. Backpage, okay? Page. P-A, all right.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. So the Backpage is a place for adult workers.
Yes.
And it was found to be a avenue.
Kind of a Craigslist spinoff.
An avenue, but a Craigslist spinoff. An avenue for sex trafficking.
Right.
And the FBI shut it down.
Yes. Well, that portion of Backpage has been shut down.
That portion. But women's groups are upset that it was shut down. Why?
Yes. Okay. Sex workers' rights are women's rights, is what Women's March posted.
Sex workers' rights are women's rights.
So these women of the Women's March are advocating prostitution. Not only prostitution, but prostitution of minors. This is not just for adults. We're talking about an outlet of cartel prostitution, like real sex trafficking, Russian prostitution. This is such a and not only is this horrifying and dangerous, but this goes on right in our back door in Atlanta. The big majority of the 7 cities who have sex trafficking, Atlanta is second next to New York.
So the left is trying to take my guns and
advocate prostitution.
And advocate prostitution.
Yes, which, I mean, if you're a feminist, you want to advocate a profession that hurts you as a woman. I just don't understand what they're trying to say. That it's your right to be a prostitute, but you also don't want to be demeaned by men. What do you want?
Got it. I got it. I thank you for that story. That is an amazing. I mean, I am so glad you brought that. Backpage has been shut down by the FBI, and women's groups, the left, are upset because prostitutions have rights too, right? Prostitutes have rights too, but sex trafficking is what we're trying to stop.
Patriarchy.
Yeah. Listen, let's go to break because I got 2 more stories I want to do, and I really need to grab a break to set something up. But you don't want to leave. I want to give you a final statement this morning that I want you to stay for. Please take us to break. Thank
Had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my life.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Okay, we're back, and I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I do not have time to do the Scott Pruitt story. I'm telling you, this show needs to go to 3 hours. I did do all the research. I wanted to research and look at, because yesterday they said, how much can you get a room for? How much can a $50 buy you in a lobbyist room? I remember the Clintons selling the Lincoln bedroom, okay? All right, so I remember, outside influence, I started looking at China. Outside influence, $100,000 a shot to sleep in the Lincoln bedroom. how there's indictments. We'll go into that tomorrow. How many indictments there were when the Clintons took money from the Chinese, right? The World Trade Organization, folks. Just do a little looking into this. Now, Friday, I was talking to somebody after the show Friday, okay? And I think actually they will attempt one day. Put up the picture of Homeland Security. Today Facebook's going to notify the 87 million people that your data was sold to Cambridge Analytica. Now, also today we're finding out that there are other analytics companies, I guess that's what you said, that have your data that Facebook said, uh-oh, folks, you are data. You turned into data years ago. You enjoyed it, you loved it because everything was at your fingertips. I mean, as silly as it sounds, you could hit a button on your phone and your garage door would go up as you were driving down the road. You could hit a button as you were coming down your street and your lights would come on. I mean, you are so excited about these advances in technology. We all jumped on board. You are data. You are data when you order at a restaurant. You are data when you go to the grocery store. They gave us a damn card, folks, and they told you you would get 6 cents off of this product and 6 cents off that product. And they ask you if you have your Grocer Advantage card with you. And they know when you get the little coupon, how do they know I like butter, but they're trying to get me to switch to this kind? Really, folks? You are data. You have been data for years. They know where you buy gas. They know where you shop. They know if you like burgers with cheese or extra bacon, or if you like it when your favorite restaurant comes out with the mountain bacon extra cheese burger. They know you like it. You are data. Game over. You live in that world now. They sell you 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to somebody. Your shoes, your pants, your hat, your jacket. They know I like blue jackets. Hell, every time I go up, I get a blue jacket. That being said, you are data. Now, Homeland Security database, and what's going to happen today when Zuckerberg, what are you going to do when Facebook sends out that your data? Huh? Homeland Security database would track journalists and media influencers in a report. Exactly. I tell you this all the time. I'm going to come here. They are using Facebook as a catalyst to say, hey, maybe we should regulate. So they're going to start trying to figure out what's fake news, what is not fake news, what to regulate. We don't want to regulate the heck out of Facebook. You will hear that. Oh, we don't want to regulate the heck out of it. We don't want to do that. But we do feel there's some form of regulation that needs to be done, is what you're going to continue to hear. But they want to track journalists that have influence, okay? Now, what if we have here at this office a little bit of influence in what we say? Just be careful, folks, okay? Be careful. Now, I want to leave you with this. This is something just to end the day with. Department of Homeland Security is definitely trying to get us to compile a list of journalists and media of influence that have influence. Yesterday, CNN felt it was important. Let me close with this. CNN felt it was important. MSNBC felt it was important. Several felt it was important to do what? To bring up none other than Stormy Daniels. So Stormy Daniels' attorney, because they can't get past the border crossing, they can't get past the big stories on border crossing, the big stories on National Guard, the big stories on China tariffs, just seems to have had moved Stormy off the front page. So the attorney tweets out, Stormy Daniels' attorney tweets out this outlandish that there's getting ready to be big news. So this is going to help you determine on every time you hear these lying people on this porn star, okay, that they have big news getting ready to break. And he tweeted out that Michael Avalente, I guess Daniel's attorney, that they would have the identity, that they would be the identity of Stormy Daniels. Remember, she said in the 60 Minutes interview that somebody approached her in a car and said, "Hey, is that your daughter? I sure don't want to see anything happen to her. And by the way, leave Donald Trump alone." So there's big news that they're going to reveal who it is. So what do? They put her with a sketch artist. And the picture you see now is Stormy Daniels with a sketch artist, and she's going through pictures, and the sketch artist is going to try to replicate the man that approached her, okay, and said, "Hey, leave Donald Trump alone." And they're going to reveal that picture, but we have it for you first. What did that sketch artist come up with through all of this time with Stormy Daniels, Amanda? Do you have that? There he is. That's the guy. That's the guy. Stormy Daniels says, approached her in the parking lot and said, "Oh, what a beautiful daughter. I sure hope nothing happens to her." I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I know it's 10:02, but don't forget tomorrow morning at 8:30, running for Secretary of State of Georgia, Josh McCoon will be our guest. And at 9 o'clock, running for governor of the state of Georgia, Casey Cagle. Take us out of here, Amanda.